Hello, people of the earth and the world and the planet and this globe, whatever you call it. Earthlings. Hello, Earthlings. Tom Brown here. I'm trying out a couple new toys. Moving up in the world, I got a selfie stick for free yesterday from this non-profit construction material place that my wife and I stopped at yesterday, and they had a whole stack of them sitting next to the register, and my wife said, "Oh, you should get one," and the lady said, "Oh, I'll give it to you for free if you like us on Facebook." And I don't go on Facebook, so my wife said she would do it. So anyway, I got a free one. And then I also have a charger thing that I bought. This thing, and it's supposed to hold your phone. It's supposed to hold the phone and charge it at the same time. Hold on, I gotta figure this out here real quick. It's supposed to hold your phone and charge it at the same time. It's all fancy. Paid a lot of money for it. So it mounts on the dash on like a sticky thing. See that? How it does it itself automatically? Yeah, well, thing's a piece of crap. The charger works fine on it and everything, but it does not when it opens and closes by itself to squeeze the phone in there and hold it. It just the phone keeps falling out, and oh boy, this one's not too good either. Shaking all around. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with good old-fashioned using your hands, people. We rely too much on technology. It's a lot of it is there for life conveniences and to make people's lives easier, and a lot of it does make people's lives easier. But I mean, whatever happened to just good old-fashioned hard work and elbow grease and knowing how to do things yourself? It just doesn't, the way the world's going and society and the younger generation in general, they rely way too heavily on all the technology and which has been brought upon them by design. They, when I say they, I mean, the deep state, the, trillion-dollar corporations, Facebook, Google, all the tech people, just the people running things, obviously. They want the younger generation to be reliant on technology, and not to know how to think for themselves or do anything for themselves, because technology does everything for them. I've shown my kids a good lesson here with this move. I've always been a hard worker and stuff, and I've always provided for them and all that. But as far as they knew, I just went to work and came home, and went to work and came home and made a paycheck. But this move, and getting this off-grid homestead set up, off-grid, they're realizing, at least I hope they're starting to realize, that not everything is just handed to you on a silver platter. Not everything is not everything is done for everyone automatically all the time. You don't just move into a place and plug your stuff into the wall and have have high-speed internet and running water and electricity for eons and forever and ever until you decide to move, and you know, then you go to the next place and it's the same thing. That's not reality. That's not how the world works. I mean, if you you know, I mean, that is how the world works nowadays. But the problem is people are too reliant on that. There's only a few people that are in charge of making sure your water flows out of the tap and making sure the lights come on when you hit the switch and making sure your high-speed internet's up and running and all that. You know, those major things that we take for granted are you know, they're controlled more and more and more by fewer and fewer and fewer people. You know, the larger companies buy out the littler companies that are trying to come up and you know, start a new system and have their own thing going on, and the big companies, they can't compete because the bigger companies will just raise the prices, or they'll cut the cost way down below market value, so the smaller companies can't compete. And they can afford to do that because they take the losses for a little while, because they have so many, you know, stacks and gobs of money that they can afford to take a hit and a loss for a little while to weed out the competition. And you know, our world, America in general, and you know, that I know of, this world was built on small businesses, you know, mom and pop shops and family-owned businesses and family farms, and you know, blacksmith shops and the general store and the local gas station, and you know, I mean, everybody had a role and something to do, and you know, if they wanted to get into something else, they would venture out into the world on their own and try to get into doing something else. But man, nowadays it's just like everything is just handed to people, you know, and it's really evident now, since you know, we've gotten all this government help from the lockdowns, and you know, boosted unemployment dollars that are going into people's pockets, and extended amount, you know, extending the amount of time you can draw unemployment for and benefits for, and just handing out money left and right like they have an unending supply or something. But the thing that the younger generation and even my generation has a hard time, you know, wanting to think about is that unending tap that everybody thinks is just there. That money is made up funny money that just gets, you know, it's not even printed anymore. It's just put on a screen, and somebody goes into the system, the banking system, and you know, they get a I don't know, a bond or something from the Federal Reserve, and for $10 billion, and they just type $10 billion into, you know, divide it up a bunch of between a couple banks or one bank or something, and then it's split off again and again and again, and people borrow against the fractional reserve lending. People will borrow, you know, they'll borrow against the money that just got deposited into the banking system, but the bank doesn't have to have that money in their vaults and in their depository in order to lend the money. They only have to have a little fraction of it. They only have to have, I think, 10%, maybe not even that much, and maybe even like 1%. I don't even know what it is. It's tiny, whatever it is. So, you know, a $10 billion bond from the Federal Reserve ends up being, you know, hundreds of billions of dollars by the time everything's said and done. And the people that own the Federal Reserve, they're just kicking back and laughing their asses off with a smile from ear to ear, because all that, the money that we're borrowing is our own money. We're borrowing our own money and then we're paying interest on it. But they never loan the amount of money that has to get paid back in interest. They'll put $10 billion into the system and they'll say, okay, well, we want 2% interest on that. So, but they don't loan out. My dog's getting ready to fly out the window. Sit down. They don't loan out the money that is supposed to be used to pay back the interest. So every time they go into the banking system and put more and more zeros on the screen, it's just more and more debt that we'll never have a chance to pay back, because the money will never exist to pay back the debt. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. It's snowballing out of control very quickly. And, you know, everybody's just, well, not everybody, but a lot of people, a good majority of the people are just turning a blind eye to it, taking all the free money, taking all the time they get to spend at home and not have to work and just sit around and do nothing and collect money. Oh, haha, I didn't even have to work today. I don't have to work for months and I'm still getting paid, and haha, man, this is great. But, you know, laugh while you can, because reality is going to set in real soon. And people are going to realize, here, come over here, buddy. Over there. Ow. People are going to realize that that money's not free. It's not free money, you know. Just because they're giving it away like it's free money and it belongs to them, and oh, we feel so sorry for you. Oh, we're so sorry for the lockdown and for this horrible disease that struck our planet. Blah blah blah. Let us help you out here. You know, it's all a big fake freaking show, people. You know, I don't know. I don't know what has to happen in order for people to wake up out of their slumber, wake up, you know, out of their trance and realize what's going on here. You know, I told you before, sorry about all the moving around and stuff. I had to get out and open the gate. I told you before that I was doing this off-grid thing because it's always been kind of a pipe dream of mine to do that, to live self-sustainably and stuff, and, you know, be one with the earth and try not to create a mountain of garbage every day, and, you know, just try to live cohesively on this planet. But the main reason why I've kicked myself into gear is because I've been forced to. You know, I've known about all the control systems, and you know, I was naive once too, but I think 9/11 is really when I kind of started, whoa, I kind of looked up and out of my trance and started looking around and like, wait a minute, you know, what really is going on here? I mean, they're telling us all this stuff that's not true, and, you know, I mean, if you go back and do the research on 9/11, there's so many holes in their story. And, you know, I'm not saying that you know, thousands of people didn't die and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying that it wasn't all concocted by some Arab people with box cutters. You know, if you think that and you believe the narrative that you've been told your whole life by the mainstream media, then, you know, I don't know what to tell you. But, you know, the people that have eyes to see and ears to hear and a brain cell that's on active duty, they know. They know what's going on, and they know that it was all freaking psyop to take our rights away. You know, why do you think they had the Patriot Act already written and ready to go? 1,500-page Patriot Act document that just appeared out of thin air, like all of a sudden. Well, we'd love to go to war, and you know, fight for you guys, you Americans that are just all upset about being attacked, but we can't. We don't have enough. We don't have the right kind of power to do that. You have to first. We have to pass this this law into effect that will give us all these certain powers, so we can go fight the big bad wolf. You know, I mean, it's comical kind of when you think about it. You know, that people believe that the narrative that was told to everybody is the truth, because it's not the truth. And you know, it's just, that's where I really kind of, I mean, I've always kind of known, like, oh yeah, the corporations are evil and they just care about money, and you know, they have lobbyists because they're buying all their rights and all their laws that they want to put into effect for all their, you know, so they can. Oh, my wife's gonna freak out about that one. There's a whole herd of javelina. I can see that over there. Oh, Chewy, no. They're like anyway, javelinas. They're like wild pigs. There's like 5 of them right there. But anyway, I lost my train of thought, but you know, it's, you've got to stop listening to the news, and you got to stop listening to the mainstream, anything that's mainstream. You got to stop doing it, because it's only there, it's your shiny thing. It's only there to keep you to keep you enthralled and hooked on whatever the next story is. Occasionally, come over here and sit down. Occasionally there's you know, there's stories there's always stories in the news that have some truth and validity behind them, because if they never said anything that was true, you know, people would have raised an eyebrow a long time ago. So they throw in the local news, and oh, this guy was, you know, hit by a car today on the freeway, and yada yada yada, and so they throw in that local truthful news on the mainstream. But other than those few little things that they talk about, everything else is a psyop. If you scroll from news channel to news channel to news channel all the way across the United States, hundreds of channels, it's the same. All the newscasters are saying the exact same line of BS every day. You know, so what you think is your local news is just a script that has been given out by the CIA to their mainstream media companies, and it trickles on down the line to the newscasters, and then, you know, it just keeps trickling down. But you know, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting just sick of the weather. I mean, no matter what happens, you can't get away from the chemtrails. You know, we've got far enough off grid where, you know, we can, you know, we're not next to any 5G towers, and we're not in, you know, connected to the city water, and we don't have a smart meter on the side of our house, and you know, our kids aren't having to go to school and wear masks and all that bullshit. I mean, most of the places aren't doing that now anyway because the mandates are lifted, but you know, we're trying to do what we can to put the oxygen masks on ourselves first before we really can reach out and help other people. I mean, it's coming along. You know, it takes time. You know, we've only got so much done. I'm only one person. My wife, you know, she's busy all the time with the kids and cooking meals and doing laundry and taking care of the dogs and driving every day and getting groceries, and you know, she's just as busy as I am. So together, we're both doing what we can, and we're just busy all the time trying to make this happen and head in the direction that we think is the right direction for our future. And you know, she's got a couple of friends that they're all into the QAnon thing, and you know, Trump is coming back into office, and he's the savior, and he's gonna set everything straight, and you know, what else is there? I'm gonna roll this window up so it's not so windy. The alliance, you know, the good alliance that's out there working against the deep state, and they're you know, they're cracking down and going to be arresting people and this and that. You know, I mean, when I first heard about the QAnon thing a few years ago and heard a few things, you know, I was kind of like, oh really? Oh, I hope that's, man, I hope that's really the case. Is there really this other half of the elite population that is sick of the corrupted people trying to take everybody's rights and destroy the planet, and maybe they're going to do something about it? But then I realized, after just a little while of kind of absorbing that information, that is just another carrot, little shiny thing that they dangle in front of people to get them to stand down. Because the people that are all, you know, wrapped up in watching that stuff and hanging on every word those people say, and you know, waiting for the next post and all that, they're people that are concerned about what's going on, but they're using the Q and the alliance and all that stuff to hold their actions at bay, so they don't stand up and do anything themselves, because they're too busy waiting around for the savior to come. Whether it be the alliance and all these arrests and, you know, locking up all these crooked people and you know, indictments and you know, Trump coming back and all that stuff. That's just another circus sideshow to take your attention away from the truth and to get people that would normally want to do something about what's going on to stand down and to wait and wait and wait and wait, because they think that somebody else is looking out for their best interest and they're coming to the rescue, and they're not coming to the rescue. I'm sorry to say. You know, I don't really care for Trump. I don't care for any politician. You know, he did a few good things. He said some truths that need to be said. But who knows if, I mean, the guy's got some serious ties to Israel, and Israel is not our friend, not anybody's friend. You know, they have all the backdoor keys to all the technology for all the clouds, and, you know, they have just as much control as Google does as far as our social media and all that stuff is concerned. But you know, it's frustrating for me to talk to people and see what's going on and see how these people react to what they're watching and all this stuff that they're absorbing all the time, because they buy it, you know, hook, line, and sinker. They're all in on this crap, and I just wish they could turn off their blinders and open their eyes and realize that it's only there to keep good people from standing up and doing the right thing, because they think that somebody else is already going to be doing the right thing, and they just, they don't have to waste any of their energy. Let's just keep watching and keep supporting and keep talking, yay Trump, yay this, yay that. And they've done, sorry about all the rattling, they've done the job that they put it out to do, and that is to take the people, the patriots, the real patriots that want to stand up and do something, and make them docile and sit around and wait for somebody else to do something. So that's my take on that. And I'm frustrated because I know some of the people out there know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that I feel like I'm living in a different world than other people are living in, because I see the world in a different way. Everybody, and when I say everybody, I don't mean every single person. I just mean the big majority of the masses. Most people, they just absorb every little thing that they hear and see on the mainstream, whether it's watching a sitcom or sports or news. I mean, all of it is designed to be that shiny thing that just takes our attention away from what is really going on and what really matters. Every little thing. And they know that everybody's not going to be hooked on the news, so they throw in all the sports stuff and the ESPN and I like, I played football when I was in high school. I like sports too. I'm not against that kind of stuff. It's just the way that people attach themselves to it, and it's like they make it their whole life. Like, if their sports team loses the game on the weekend, it's going to ruin their whole week or something. Like, it affects them or something, It's like, you're not the one making millions of dollars on TV playing a sport. You're the dumb idiot sitting on the couch every single weekend, absorbing it like it's your whole freaking life existence. And it goes like that with everything, whether whatever it is that it's taking your attention. People need to realize that all that stuff is there to be their shiny thing. So all they can do is focus on that one little thing that's right in front of their eyeballs and spend all their time and attention just taking apart this one little thing and, trying to learn every single little tiny aspect of one thing, when at the end of the day, all that little shit doesn't even matter. Everybody needs to take a deep breath and a big step back and see the big picture, and I don't know what to tell people. If they can't do that, then there's not a lot of hope left, which is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I'm not going to stay in La La Land and pretend that everything's just going to go back to normal. And, once Trump gets back in, or once we get rid of Biden, things are going to get back to normal. If people can't tell by now that things ain't going back to normal, and they're just going to keep imposing all these ridiculous, stupid little rules and regulations on us until we say no. They're just going to keep doing it until we say no. No, N-O spells no. You know, that's one of the most powerful words in the English language is the word no. You know? And people are just, they've been brainwashed to think that speaking out or saying anything against anyone or you know, everybody just wants to go along to get along and accept everybody for everything that they've ever done and all that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't accept people, but there's a line there in the sand that they don't want us to cross, but we need to cross it. You know, things weren't always this upside down. There was a time once in the history of mankind when people actually challenged authority, thought for themselves, made decisions on their own, and did the right thing because it was the right thing to do, not because they were told to do something, or they are told something that wasn't right is right. You know, it's just so backwards. We all inherently know right from wrong, unless you're a psychopath. If you're a psychopath, then maybe you don't know right from wrong. But the vast majority of human beings on this planet knows right from wrong when it comes right down into your soul and into the middle of your makeup of your being. You know what's right from wrong. And you know, I'm and maybe that's not true for the younger generation because they've been so brainwashed by the social media and all the crap that is just in front of their face all the time from the screens. You know, they've had a screen in front of their face ever since the day they were born. And you know, I was born in 1978, and it was right at that time where, you know, TV dinners and you know, all these sitcoms that were on TV, the Dukes of Hazzard, you know, all that kind of stuff, and you know, I could say that, oh, the TV shows weren't as bad back then as they are now, and they were just for, you know, entertainment. But when I go back and I watch some of those old shows and stuff, I can see even back then how they were just trying to tweak and manipulate things just slightly. The reason why they weren't so bad back in the day is because people's morals they had a lot higher standard of morals, and they knew that if they went too overboard, people would have been not having it. So they had to start where people's perception was at and start tweaking it from that point. So people were a little more, you know, knowledgeable, a little more, you know, moral. You know, I mean, they had a different mindset back then, so they couldn't feed them the same garbage that they're feeding people nowadays because they would have rejected it. So, you know, what I'm doing, it seems kind of extreme to a lot of people. You know, I moved away from everything that I knew. You know, I had friends and a life and a good job and a house and all that stuff, and I was in the la la land, and I could have stayed there, but in order for me to do that, I would have had to shove the truth aside and you know, once you can't unlearn things, you can't unsee things. I just wouldn't have been able to function in that society, and you know, knowing what I know and what's coming, I would just be miserable trying to ignore the truth and just live that fairy tale life while constantly pushing away the truth and all this stuff going on. And you know, I would have been broken. I would have been like divided in two. So I can't do that. It's like in the Matrix, um, when that guy wants to be put back in the Matrix, and he's the only way you can do that and be happy is you have to forget. You have to forget, wipe his mind clean of all the memories and all the stuff he knows, because as long as he's ignorant, then he would be happy. Ignorant of the truth, and you can live life like it's a blissful dream. But I can't ignore the truth, and I can't hide the truth, and I can't I can't stop trying to know more and more and more truth. So that puts me in a situation where I have to act. I have to do something. I have to show my kids what I believe is true, and the only way I can do that is I can't go along just to get along and pretend like everything's hunky-dory, because it ain't. And I want my kids to know the truth, and I can't live a lie. I can't live a lie every day and expect to teach my kids the truth. So, I mean, that's where I'm at. That's Anyway, I drove down to pick up my kids off the bus, give my wife a break today. I was feeling really tired anyway. Pretty warm here today. I was out moving one of the solar arrays and mounting it to the back of the shed and putting, I was up on the roof of the shed putting the solar back together, because I had to take it apart to move it. So I did that, and I mounted the additional smaller panel that I'm going to use to power up the what my inverter refers to as the smart loads. So I've been going. I got up early, and I've been just steady pace all day. I'm not running. I'm not going too full bore, but I'm trying to stay busy, trying to stay active, and I'm trying to stay productive. I got too many things to do to not be productive, so I'm just doing what I can to stay productive. I told you guys on the video I made yesterday about my weaning off the opiates, and so last night or yesterday was the first day where I didn't take any pills all day long, except for at night. Before, I was trying to wait until like 8-9 o'clock at night, because I normally go to bed late. I normally go to bed like 9:30, 10 when I lay down, and then I don't go to bed for another hour or so after that. But I couldn't wait that long. I tried, but like 7:30 rolled around, and I was just starting to have chest pains, and I'm not trying to be a hero and damage myself physically. I just want to get off the crap, and I think I'm doing pretty well, actually. I'm weaning myself off, and I'm disciplining myself to not take them when I want to, even though I feel like crap all the time. But it's the only way my body's gonna recover and get back to being normal without the pain meds. So anyway, so yesterday was the first day where I went all day, and then I took the pain meds last night about 7:30. It's already 5 now. Right now, I haven't taken any yet today, and it's actually after 5. The bus is late, and so I'm gonna try to go maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock before I take them tonight, and we'll see what happens. But I'm just feeling really sluggish during the day, like tired, and like I have no energy. but I got to work through it. I mean, I got to push myself to stay busy and keep going. I can't, like I said, I'm not running around. I can't run and be like super productive, but I at least can, I can at least stay at a steady pace and stay busy and keep going that way. I think my kids are pulling up in the bus. There they are. Okay, Chewy, you ready for the kids? Huh? Come here. My little Seahawks. He's got a sweater on because I shaved him so close to his skin. He's been cold. I don't know how he's cold. He still has a fur coat on, and it's really nice here. So, but it was a shock to his system because he didn't. He's just not used to having no hair. But anyway, my kids are coming, and I'm gonna video. Have a good day for now, guys. Bye.